Hello,
everybody.
Welcome back to Taroni Talks. In this episode, we discuss everything about our spiritual industry that annoys us and some pet peeves. So, stay tuned and let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back. Before we
How's everybody doing?
listen, I honestly don't care because guess what? We have a sponsor. We have a sponsor, very first sponsor for the podcast. I'm so excited. This has been. I never thought I would say this like 5, 6, like this is the 7th podcast, right? I didn't think it would happen so soon. But I mean, I wished for it. So, I manifested it. So now, here we are.
And our sponsor is Lunar Tarot. Her name is Neha, and she's an amazing tarot reader, and she does spell jars. And Niharika will tell you about the rest, and we'll talk about our experience with Neha. She's such a wonderful girl.
Yeah, just first and foremost, so all of her information will be linked below. The Lunar Tarot, her name is Neha. First and foremost, she's just such a beautiful human being. Like, we wanted to, build a relationship with her before we could promote her because we really wanted to know what kind of person she is and, what happens, like how she does her thing. And she is the sweetest person ever. She's so, like, we literally ended up talking for hours and hours and hours. I could talk to her for hours and hours and hours about everything. And she's an amazing, tarot reader. Both of us got readings from her. She was kind enough to give us both readings, and we've got a spell jar from her as well. That's in the works. But basically, before we start talking about her, we have an offer for you. She has been kind enough to give us I want to call it a coupon code, but since we're all small businesses, I'm going to try to make it a little more fun, and let's just call it like a secret code word that will get you discounts, because you just have to like tell her the code word in DMs, and only people who listen to this podcast are going to get the code. So the code is free 10, and if you just whisper free 10 into her inbox, then you're gonna get
Don't do that. Just type FREE 10 and you will get a 10% discount on the tarot reading of your choice. I think
you can get 10% off on a jar, a spell jar, or a tarot reading, which is amazing. You should honestly get either one. Like, her tarot readings are ace, and we'll tell you why in a bit. But even her candle, like her spell jars, she has a very unique way of doing things. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing of it. I'm sure some of you may know, but the way that she does stuff is really cool. She spells your jar, like she works on it a lot from before, like way before the full moon, and then when the full moon comes, she like charges it with your intention, and then she buries it in the ground, which means like your intention stays grounded.
so it stays like grounded.
Yeah, so it's like you can have it, but like if you choose to bury it in the ground, I would prefer that you do that and let her like bury it in the ground, so you don't get it to keep with you physically, but your intention is one with the earth. But you can get it home if that's what you wish to.
And plus, like, I feel like if you put your intentions, like, that's the way it would grow.
Exactly.
Like a tree.
Yeah, like a tree. Yeah, you sow your intentions and you let them grow. So I think that she's really cool, and you should definitely go check her out and use free 10 if you want 10% off of your jars or readings. Please excuse the birds in the background, but also you have to hurry because there's only 10 slots. There's 10 free slots only. So if you go right now and say the code word and get your reading before someone else takes your spot, because there's only 10 spots, and she has very reasonable prices to a point where they're a sin. Like, I've told her she needs to raise her prices. Like, her energy is worth so much more, and like she does the most, for like even a specific question. She does so much, and I'm not going to put the discount code in the description because then everyone will read it without
Because
like
you have
listening to
to
the
read.
podcast. So it's FREE10. Just go whisper it in the inbox and get your reading.
I think she was a wonderful girl, and the thing we found that was common about all three of us was that we had Libra placements, like really just really important Libra placements, and it was just funny because we were discussing our experiences, and
Yeah.
it was just amazing. Like it was just so much, and she's just like a wonderful tarot reader. I got a question about my career, and not because like I'm biased, but at the same time she gave like really constructive advice towards things, and she's just wonderful. And honestly, I feel like if I asked her another question, she would have done it, but I don't like to exploit people like that, neither should you. So
Yeah.
just go get the reading of your choice, or the candle healing, or the spell jar of your choice, and it's like really cheap, you guys. Like you can get it.
It's
Just
a
do
very
it.
reasonable price. And plus you get 10% off on it if you get there before everybody else takes your slots. So it's honestly the best. She offers spell jar in for anxiety relief, self-love, psychic protection, energy plus aura, and love jars, and she's introducing some new ones soon, so you might want to stay tuned to her page. And she is, I don't know how to explain it. So for me, the reading that she did for me, it was via voice notes. She does either text readings or voice note readings, and mine was voice note because I just like sent her a whole voice note of my situation and then asked her a question. And it was, so apart from just my question, she also did an energy check to see like if she had a general message for me, which was not even part of my reading. So that was really sweet of her to do, to go like out of her way and do that, because it does take extra energy if you do that. And she did it anyway. And if she hadn't done that, I wouldn't have known. But she told me the specific thing about someone, and then a week later it actually happened, and it was actually really like a huge deal for me. So the fact that I had a heads up from her, and then it actually like happened, and it was such a specific prediction. I will call it a prediction. Like she specifically predicted this one thing, this one person to do this one thing. We just didn't know who it was, and then it happened a week later, and that was amazing. And it would not have happened if she hadn't done the energy check, because my reading had nothing to do with that situation. So she is brilliant, that's all I can say. And she's really sweet and helpful. Like she'll go out of her way to like help you with anything. Like even if you're having a bad day, she's just always ready to talk to you. And I think that's really sweet, because it takes a lot of your time and energy and effort of your day to be nice to people and check up on them and talk to them. So but yeah, I think that's enough of babbling about her, because we won't shut up. We've like been 10 minutes just babbling about her.
I think just like talking about energy and like how much energy it takes is a great segue into our podcast, which is what are the spiritual pet peeves that we're experiencing as healers and as readers. I think I would go with like mine, which is people being entitled to your energy for no reason. I think Niharika and I have this like big issue with people just being rude and entitled sometimes when it comes to readings, because I for a long time did astrology readings for free. There was just like this general mindset that people had where they would shit on astrology and talk rubbish about it, but then in the DMs they would beg for questions, and they would
Really?
like they would just be like, yeah, it was such a problem, because they would just be like, oh my god, we don't even believe in astrology, like my religion doesn't even allow it, but I'm still getting a reading because it's for free. And I'm like, no. And then there were people who would text me out of nowhere. They would be like, yo, check this person's chart. And I'm like, listen, I'm not your servant.
Yeah, and it's not
Like, don't do that.
I don't think they
Just-
get that it's not that easy. You can't just look at a chart and like it still takes some amount of energy and study. It's not like a book. Like she can't just read the words and get the answers. She has to actually study the chart to give you whatever answers you want.
Yeah, and like I still don't know everything. Like I'm saying this as like someone who's been studying astrology for like 5 years. It's a
Yeah.
vast like area, and like you learn new things every single day, and I still don't know a lot of things. And when I read a new chart, I have to go research about it. I have to go see like how this placement affects a certain person. So for you to come up with like charts to me and like questions like that, even with like Niharika, I feel like the tarot thing would have happened where people ask questions and they just cross boundaries,
Yeah.
which is so irritating.
No, I think
Don't do that.
for me, I have been very, very blessed, touch wood, in this department where I don't get that many people who try to cross boundaries. They're very respectful of them. Even when we do like ask tarots every now and then, people ask and they're like, can you please answer mine? But then if I tell them it's not going to happen in this round, they're very respectful about it, and they're like, you know what, it's fine. So I think that's my luck that I haven't attracted too many of these. But of course it's impossible to like be calm all the time. So there are like a few of them that I come across. I think it's more, for me, it's about it's the lack of response. It's the opposite. It's like I'll do a reading and I won't get anything from them back. Like they'll just be like some of them don't even reply. They just read it and they like, I mean, they listen to the
Leave it
voice
on
note.
scene.
Yeah, they just leave it on scene. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And like very few times they don't pay like the second, they don't pay all of the money, but that's very, very rare. It's only happened like once. So I'm not going to count that as...
I think the crowd on Twitter is completely different from the crowd on Instagram.
Definitely.
Because I started like doing readings first like when I was on Twitter, because like my account is huge over there. Like I have more
Yeah.
followers, so obviously, and I do readings not only just for people, but I do it for my personal research. I'm researching on certain things and I need to do it for those things. So like having such a huge platform, I feel like people just feel like they're entitled to your energy, because they think like, okay, she shares her life, I might as well just go ask whatever
Whenever
I
I
want, which is
want.
just like,
yeah.
no.
And demand it whenever I need it. Like
Yeah, and like even with Neha, we're telling you guys the same thing. Like she's a really nice
she's
person.
not going to say no.
Not just Neha. Yeah, she's not gonna say no. And like she's a really nice person. Most energy healers are really nice people. They don't know like how, because we really want to help people, but you need to be like aware that this is like an energy exchange and you're just draining us when you do this
Yeah.
thing. And like it takes a lot of effort from our side to be like, nope, this is it. And now I've started doing that because Niharika is like, why are you overexerting yourself constantly?
No, I don't, thankfully,
But, yeah.
because I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't know how to say no. So I make sure that I have boundaries in the way that I read for people, which is why we have bookings in advance, and then I give it to you whenever I have the time. And it's not like a face-to-face or a call thing, because I don't know how to say no. So if I pick up the phone and give you a reading and you ask me questions for like 3 hours, I'll keep answering. Because even if I want to say stop, it's very hard for me to say stop. So just, don't... I'm not saying that... I don't think anybody who listens to our podcast, at least the people that I know, I don't think they've ever crossed a boundary. But just like keep that in mind. Just like ask questions. Just be like, hey, are you in the frame of mind? Just, maybe shoot a question. But the people who don't are quite annoying.
And it's not just for us. And it's not just for us, but like do apply that to every single practitioner in this particular area of life.
Yeah.
I mean, you would not just call up. This is not like customer service where you just call us up and be like, I have this problem, blah, blah, blah. And that's not how it works. It takes a lot of energy and time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that customer service people don't
Yeah.
have energy.
No, but you get the point.
But anyway, what's your other pet peeve?
Wow, I have so many. I don't know which one to even start from. Okay, I actually know which one to start from. I want to talk about entitled readers. Of course, just because you're spiritual and you're a healer doesn't mean that you have to be nice to people all the time. But it's very obvious when you're crossing your own boundaries. It's very obvious when you are disrespecting your own art yourself, not because of anybody else. So you cannot go out there and like yell at your customers or tell them you're really busy and why are you being harassed, because you're not being harassed. Like if you're gonna take up so much work, like I know I've seen healers that take up like a lot of reading spells or whatever together, like community ones, and they're not able to keep up with it. I know healers who take community spells for 200 people every full moon and carry it off perfectly. Like they are able to smoothly get through it without anybody losing their mind in the process. But there are also healers,
Yeah, but there's like a lot of
of course,
preparation that
and
goes
they've
into
been doing
that.
it for
like when you-
years, which makes them fit to do all this. But there are healers who take up stuff like all these some sort of energy work for 200 people at once, 200 300 people at once. And then when someone's like genuinely asking a question about well, can I have an update, they snap at them and they're rude to their customers and they blame them and then they put them on blast, and then they I don't know, like it just goes on. Like they're always angry, they're always upset at people, they're always like sad, and these are all signs about you burning yourself out. And then they become really like shitty people at the end of the day. Even if they're not rude to their customers, then they're rude to other people, or they're really depressed, or they're really angry. And honestly, this part like comes from a place of worry, because I've personally known, like spoken to these girls, and most of them are like really young, and they think that they have it all figured out, but they just don't. And it's really sad.
I also feel like that you've met a lot of people in like the spiritual space where they're just fake healers. Like I remember reading some of our chats on Tyranny, because like honestly Niharika is the main handler of the account and she takes care of all the logistical stuff. I basically just go do the reading and come back. Like that's my job. And sometimes if I want to post, I go to that account. I don't use like social media too much. But she's just like, oh, someone has like a message for you. And this one time I remember like Niharika complaining about this girl to me, and I was just like, what's wrong with these people? Like, why do you do certain things to piss like other healers off? Because I feel like she has drama within like the community with like different people.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I have drama, but there was
Not
drama.
you, I meant that girl. She has drama with people just in general.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she has drama with a bunch of people. A lot of people like know of her, and they're just like, anyway, we're not here to bitch. I'm not bitching about her. I'm honestly genuinely worried, because she's I don't know, I just
Naive.
feel like she needs yeah, she needs to take a beat and like take care of herself, like on a existential level, and then come back to this when she's a little more
Aware.
equipped to deal with it. Yeah, I want to touch this broad topic about spirituality becoming a trend, because it's just
Ew.
annoying me. Like I don't like it. And this is not me being like, I discovered this band before anyone, so how dare all of you now listen to it and make it mainstream. No, I don't care. I honestly want to spread the word about this, and I want everybody to get in touch with their spiritual side and be practicing their spirituality in their own way. But there are people who treat it as a trend, or only follow it because it's a trend, or only talk about it when it is convenient to them or cool to do so. And
Or
big
when they're
brands
making
are
money off of it.
monetizing
Yeah.
monetizing. Big brands are monetizing off of this stuff that's like sacred knowledge. You can't get greedy basically with this stuff, and so many brands and people and influencers are really profiting off of this whole trend right now, and it annoys me to no extent. And I just realized this whole podcast is just us complaining, but like I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I'm annoyed. I've been annoyed this whole week, so this is a good release for me, and let me talk about stuff I'm annoyed about. But I think within that, like to begin with, so basically I've seen a lot of big brands or emerging skincare brands take like crystal therapy gua shuas, skincare, like rollers, face rollers and stuff that is made out of, and I'm not saying don't sell it, because obviously it works and it's, you know, gonna become commercial at some point, but the prices they put on this stuff, I know a
Ridiculous.
wholesale
Just
person, the
garbage.
it's so bad. It's not even like, it's a ridiculous amount of profit. It's unfair. You're stealing from these people. A face roller, I'm going to tell you right now, expose everybody right now, and tell you that a face roller, when bought in a wholesale price, is like 200 rupees, like 100-200 rupees with the case. Okay, and big brands are selling that same face roller with the same case, just their logo printed on the box, for 3,000 rupees. How is that allowed? And they're selling them in masses because it's not a small business, it's a huge brand. How is that allowed? A gua sha is for 200 rupees. People are selling, okay, I understand, if even if you sell it for 500 rupees, it makes sense. 650 makes sense. 3,000? Are you kidding me? You're stealing from people, like, just aage se you're like, take this gua sha,
I
just
mean,
because it's in a
like,
funny
we're
shape.
just in the late stages of capitalism, and people, like, I think, like, people have started believing, because my mom and I were talking about gemstones the other day, because I learn about gemstones mainly due to my astrology practice, and we were talking about how it is so easy for people to acquire gemstones in India. They are super cheap. Like, you can get a gemstone
Yeah.
for like 200 rupees or 300 rupees. Sometimes you even get like a box full of gemstones for like 1,000 rupees. There'll be like 50-60 gemstones in them if you buy it in bulk.
Yeah.
My uncle, this one time, he tried to give someone a gemstone, and he's like, this is like for 50 rupees. You just have to pay for like the band you're trying to get it on, so like silver or gold band. And the person was like, that is so cheap, I don't think this works, etc. And then she paid him like the consultation fees and left. My uncle was like, okay, that's fine. She went ahead and bought the same ring for 5,000 rupees because she thought it would work. Same ring,
Oh my god.
same gemstone. She didn't even buy the ring. She bought the gemstone. Same gemstone for 5,000. And that was one gemstone, where she could have gotten like 5 bundles of those gemstones with that much money. But she chose to buy those
So you
things.
want to pay money? Yeah, like you want to pay money just because it has a brand name on it. You think its value increases. Like, what is it? I don't understand. And I agree with that. Like, so many people will actually buy gua shuas and rollers and these rings from big businesses versus small businesses who are giving you the same quality and a beautiful product for a much cheaper price, because they sell it in small batches. They put their own hard work in it. It's mostly 1 or 2 people handling the entire, production, which is so much hard work. So much more care is going into making your product. Please shop small business. Like, don't stop giving your money to big brands. They don't deserve it. Just let us all put an end to capitalism after this podcast. Everyone just start shopping small and redistributing your wealth. Like, you don't need to feed big corporations money any longer than we have.
You know, when
Seriously,
you
it's-
buy
I'm
a
so
reading
annoyed.
from us, or like when you buy like something from us, that pays like 2 meals
Our bills.
for us. Yeah, like it pays
Literally.
our bills, and it's so
Yeah.
helpful. Like, we're so grateful for those things. But $50 or like $20 or something like that for a big business, it's nothing. You will
It's
get nothing out.
They don't even care. Yeah.
You don't exist for them, but we remember you. Every time I get a big reading, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, thank you
Thank God.
so much.
Thank you. I know. I cry. I'm like, oh my God, I can buy nice things for myself now. Thanks to this person, I have paid my credit card bills. Thank you. Like, literally. And when I say we, I don't mean me and Siddhi. I mean everyone I know who has a small business. Like, everyone that I've made friends with on Taroni that has a small business who sells skincare, crystals, spell jars, tarot readings, whatever it is, we all collectively feel the same way. I know I can like vouch for that on their behalf. So please shop small. It doesn't matter if they don't have a lot of followers. It doesn't matter if they look like, I don't know, if they're not aesthetically
They have a
pleasing
certain
or don't
yeah.
have like, yeah, they don't have good packaging. It's just once you know the network, you will know who is legit, who is not. Like, at least now, I think our following knows all of the people that I tag and talk about. When I get a product from a small business, I promote the hell out of it. I'm just like, look at this pretty thing, like I just got it. So everybody knows, you know, the right places. At least in India, everybody knows where they can shop from. At least our audience in India. So just please shop small business, because it is pissing me off how much big brands are capitalizing off of spirituality becoming a trend and crystals becoming a trend, and in the same breath ridiculing us for doing that. Like, I still go out and if I have this conversation with family members, like relatives and friends, they still ask me if I'm okay, like if I'm losing my mind or something, like doing all this card and crystal stuff. But big corporations are like profiting off. You see why I'm annoyed? It's like,
yeah, they're doing the same thing, but since it's more mainstream, like people buy into that shit. Like when I talk about something, even that's the same case in my home. Like when I talk about something, everyone's just like, she's stupid, she's a conspiracy nut, etc. But then as soon as it's true, they're just like, oh my god, why did nobody tell us before? And I'm just like, I told you. I was screaming on top of my lungs. This is why I don't waste my energy. But yeah, please shop small businesses. And like, I feel like these big businesses sometimes just, you know, sell a lot of fake products, like fake crystals and fake gua sha tools.
Honestly, yeah, it's the opposite. You would think that someone who sells it for a really cheap price is conning you. No, it's actually the big businesses that might be conning you. I've actually not tested this. I should probably go to a store and hold the gua sha in my hand. Oh, okay, really?
So, like last month, my friend wanted to buy a gua sha tool, and she went on. Oh shit! Should I say the name?
I'll bleep it out. It's fine.
Yeah, she went to this particular website. I don't think like the company cares, but like she went to this particular website, and like the seller on the website was just like selling the tool for 200 dirhams. 200 dirhams when like and like it looked a little plasticky, and I was just like, this doesn't look really nice to me. It just looks like a plastic.
And how much
tool.
Is it supposed to be, just for people who don't know how dirhams
15
like,
dirhams
value?
15 to 20 dirhams, which is like how much in Indian rupees? But it's a lot
don't know
cheaper.
math and all. I'm just saying, like, yeah, just to compare.
Yeah, look at the variation from 15 to 20 dirhams to 200 dirhams. Like, that's 200. A lot of money. It's like a huge jump.
It's not.
Complete 180.
It shouldn't be allowed. It's so much. Like, it shouldn't be allowed.
But it is. And you know, she bought it and it was plastic.
Oh my God.
It was literally from this other company that sells like cheap goods. This person, the seller on the website, they bought their stuff from, and they're selling it for what? And she was just like rolling it on her face. Like the next time I came over to her house, she was rolling it on her face, and I'm like, are you happy? And she's like, yeah, but I don't think like the benefits are the same. Like sometimes like the thing hurts me. And I was just like, why does a jade roller hurt you? It's supposed to do like the opposite thing.
It's not supposed to. Yeah.
And turns out it was like there was like, you know, when like plastic products, they close it and there's like a plastic rim,
a line,
and it's like jaggedy. Yeah. That's what that was happening, and she thought it was like the jade roller hurting her, and I was just like, this is made out of plastic. You might as well just use your hands instead of using this, because it's not adding anything to your skin. It's not clearing your aura or anything. But yeah, it's just sad people sell like so much fake shit and just price it really, really high. Bugs me.
You know whose prices are not high? The Lunar Tarot. You should get a reading from her or a spell chart if that's something that you need. And for a limited time, a limited amount of people only, which is only 10 people, we have a code. Use FREE10, FREE10, and get 10% off on your reading or your candle healing. Oh, sorry, spell jar. I don't know why I keep calling it candle healing or spell jar, but you get the point. It's a jar with intentions in it. I don't know why I keep calling it candle.
Yeah, and her menu is on her Instagram handle, which we will put down below. So
Yes,
go get
please
it.
go get one. Yes, she's amazing at her thing and she's really cute and sweet and very helpful, and you'll feel right at home with her. That was a good segue. I liked that. I
She's
enjoyed
just-
that. I'm so glad I'm good at that.
She was a YouTuber before, like Niharika's YouTube career just jumps out every time she's talking.
Going ahead with our spirituality is a trend thing that annoys me. I don't like the word empath. I don't agree, I don't like it. It's used too much. Everybody, like, listen, everyone has empathy, okay? It is a human quality. Everybody is empathetic to a huge extent. It's a very, very thin line to being an empath. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying that it's become so mainstream. Like, it's become such a, I don't know. I think this is a very irrational thing to be angry about, but it's just, why is everybody an empath? Like, why is everybody like, yeah, if you people are like, if you are like
It's not the fact that people are empaths, it's just that they're advertising it as if it's like a special star seed thing to
Yeah.
do. Like, I remember this girl texting me this one time and she was just like, do you think I'm a star seed? And I was like, you're what? And then she's like, yeah, I was watching this like girl's video on YouTube. You know which girl I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Like, she was watching this particular girl's video on YouTube and the girl was like, rainbow child, star seed, whatever. And I'm like, no, you're just like maybe sensitive and empathetic, and that's just qualities we have in like variations depending on the time of the month, or just like in general, like sometimes I go through feelings of apathy, sometimes I go through feelings of
Yeah.
empathy, and it's normal. It's not a special trait that only a selective few people
but yeah,
have.
it doesn't, like, you don't have to be gifted. You are gifted. Like, you already have that. You don't have to have like it's not a superpower that's, only like for a specific class of people. Anybody can do that. A lot of people like come to us and ask, like, someone I was talking to, a regular customer of ours, or regular like person that we talk to on Taroni, she was like, I'm no psychic, but I really am interested in these things. And I'm like, maybe you are. Psychics are not like exclusive. Like, everybody has that within them. All of us have that within us. You don't have to be a certain type of person to be special. You are special. Like, get it in your brain. It's so annoying. Everyone's just like,
some people might have it naturally more than the other people. Like, some people just have that, like it's
yeah.
written in the stars. But at the same time, you can still develop it regardless
Anybody
of
can.
what placements you have.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Anybody
can literally like pick up tarot cards and start practicing with your intuition, and like that's the thing, intuition is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets.
Yeah,
And most of these, like,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
someone what?
No, someone said that before. I
But-
think Ala did in our podcast before. The muscle thing. Yeah.
The thing is, you're just supposed to, practice. Most of these healing things or like healer related things are just using your intuition. And I feel like most people don't realize that they don't have to be like special star seed, rainbow child, or all these like fancy
Terms.
schmancy words
Yeah.
in order to get into spirituality. Like, you are a spiritual being. You have spirit in you. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
If you
Ta-da, you're a spiritual
Yeah,
being.
literally. All you had to do was be born and you did it. So like, you're spiritual, hey. But yeah, I don't like the word empath, and I don't like it because I've heard it so much, and they treat it to be some sort of prize that you win when it's not. It's within all of us. I just feel like it's very like classist, elitist type attitude where it's like, you might be an empath, but not everybody can be it. Like, you have to be special. No.
Did you know there's actually science behind this? So back in the 90s and back in like the time when there was the Vietnam War going on,
Yeah.
and like there was just like a bunch of wars going on, and like children were exposed to a lot of things, and there were a lot of children who were autistic or had ADHD. So these like spiritual, like these hipsters, they came up with these ideas of indigo children and star seeds, etc. at the time to profit off of these gullible parents.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we have special programs for our children. We have special programs for like starseed children, and we have special programs for indigo children and rainbow child, etc., etc. And these parents would just be like, oh my god, so my child does not have a developmental disorder or like a neurological disorder. They're just a starseed,
exactly.
and they're different.
They're just special.
And
yeah.
Yeah, and then they drug you up and like shit like that. They'll give you like microdoses of LSD. They'll experiment on you. It's like a whole like the cultish mentality and earning money out of people was such a huge thing in the 60s back in America.
Still is. Honestly,
Yeah, but now
what's
it's in the
changed?
form of MLMs where they do like these sessions with people, spiritual sessions where they dance around for their energy. And I remember like one of our friends, she lives in Canada, and she has a friend who like went to one of these like MLM sessions. So basically you have to put in more money in order to
Yeah.
like reach a certain type of ascension. Once you put in that money, you level up in your spiritual journey. And she
Like,
was just like,
how?
it was so stupid.
How does that even register as logical in your mind? The more money you put in, the more this is gonna like benefit you. It doesn't work like that, man. Energy is energy. At the end of the day,
it does. It does
What do you
work
mean?
like that. Apparently, Church of Scientology, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but there are
Yeah.
millions of celebrities who invest so much money in that church. And like, this is exactly what they do. It's the same model, but just rebranded.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. The next time you go to a healer or a tarot reader or anyone of that sort, the second they tell you, do this and come back to me for another session for like more to happen to you. Like, I don't mean a follow up. I don't mean like when you go for a tarot reading and they tell you, no, there's this kind of blockage, so you need to do this, and then maybe have a tarot reading sometime in the future. Whenever I have that feeling when I'm doing tarot readings, I always tell them that, you know, this is what you need to do right now because the answer to your question is blocked. So after you do this, you either come back to me in like 6 months, or you know what, you will realize it on your own. You won't even need me. Like, your gut will tell you what you need to do once you clear out this block. But there are people who
Yeah.
say, oh, you've done this spell from me, you've done this tarot reading from me, you need to like wait, and then if it doesn't work, you need to do more of it. You have to keep doing it in order for it to work. It doesn't work like that. You don't have to pay someone multiple times to do the same thing. There's no such thing as like what's it called, enhancing the energy. Once it's done for you, it's done for you. After that, you have to take the steps to kind of resonate with that energy and continue working hard and continue building yourself as a spiritual being, or working hard to get what you want to get. Do not believe people who make you come back to them under some sort of like follow-up thing, because 90% of the time,
But they just want you to spend more money. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally it. Even with astrology, I just give remedies and I tell people, like, okay, let me know within a couple of months, because
Yeah.
astrology remedies, they take a longer time, but the effects are long lasting. So I'm just like, okay, come back to me in a couple of months and let me know how it went for you. I don't go
Exactly.
like, okay, you need to do this other thing. And the remedies are so easy. It's just basic shit like drinking milk or
Yeah.
just going and praying in the full moon night. It's not even you don't even have to spend that much money, but like,
Yeah.
it's just so frustrating how people make money out of just gullible people who are in need of guidance.
That's
I
when they
need help.
prey on you the most, when you're the most vulnerable. Like when someone in our inbox comes in and they come in for like an urgent reading, that means that they're very vulnerable. I usually send people like that away, because for me, I take on that energy and I feel all of their anxiety while reading for them. So I can't, like, I physically cannot do it. But people, that's the thing, you can't be too vulnerable in front of people you don't know. Like, at this point, the regular customers that we have, they can come to me at any time and be like, I'm so stressed, and it's fine because they know me and they trust me and we've built that relationship. But do not don't go to like strangers and tell them all of your problems immediately just because they claim to be a healer. First, feel their vibe, see if you can trust them, and even then, if they're trying to get money off of you, it's very easy to find out, because they, you know, tell you to get the more money, the tarot reading that costs more money. They tell you to get additional stuff and follow-up stuff, and it's just doesn't work like that. But is there anything else that pisses you off?
Astrology memes. Oh my god. Astrology memes
No
and
way.
horoscopes.
You
Just
complain about
why? Every
hates
single
astrology.
time. Not just astrology memes, but like memes about astrology, making fun of astrology. And like, and these are memes by like people who don't understand the practice, people who don't know what's going
They're
on,
on the
people who
outside.
don't know how much we, yeah, just the effort we put into. And then there are these 15 to 14-year-old dummies on the internet that make like astrology pages. All they have to do is repost a couple of memes, tag people underneath, and voila, you get famous
Yeah. It's
from
not
that.
hard.
Or like on Twitter, there's this new trend where they start talking shit about each sign. And I'm like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, oh my god. Because people have this very whole and soul idea about astrology, which a lot of people still think that an entire person is made up of one sign. Like he's
When you
such
have
a
all 12
Sagittarius.
signs in your chart.
Yeah, he's such a Sagittarius. He's such a Scorpio. My ex was a Sagittarius, never date a Sagittarius again. No, it doesn't work like that, dummy. Everybody, even you have Sagittarius in your chart. You just have to go find it. Like, what is wrong with you?
It's always the people who are projecting that have that placement in their chart. Like,
Oh,
for
yeah.
example, because when you have those placements, those are the people you keep attracting.
Yeah.
For my best friend, she's just like, oh my god, I hate Geminis. They're so fucking annoying. Like, and turns out inside, because I'm a Gemini in tropical astrology, she's dated many Geminis and I'm her best friend, so I'm a Gemini. And every time she talks shit about Geminis, I'm like, that's all you're going to attract. You're going to attract more Geminis. Because she's a Gemini moon. She literally has a Gemini moon. And then it's the same with me. Like, I am a Scorpio rising, but I'm so vocal about my love for Scorpios. But at the same time, they annoy the shit out of me. But I'm just like, oh my god, Scorpio's this, Scorpio's that. And that's like the sign you'll attract. The sign you will project on the most is the sign you attract the most.
Yeah, it's true for me as
I've
well. Now
seen
that you
so
say
many-
that, like even I had this like hatred for fire signs because I just not that like hatred. I just couldn't stand the energy because it was too like volatile for me, and I wasn't very aware of my Vedic chart at the time. I was just getting into like figuring out what this is, and then I found out I was an Aries moon, and it literally like my entire world just like crumbled around me. I was like, there is no way that I'm an Aries moon. There is just no way. And now that's like the part of me that I've embraced the most. I'm just like, I'm an Aries moon, like deal with it. And I let myself be free like that. Like before, when I was projecting on fire signs for being so chaotic, so overtly all the time, it was like what I was inside, but I never like let it come out, and I never let myself express that side of me. But now I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't care what anybody
Fire
thinks.
signs are technically water signs in sidereal.
True,
So if you
true.
meet an Aries, they're probably a Pisces. Geminis, Aquarius, and Scorpios get the most slack in the zodiac. But when you look back, it's like supposed to be Taurus, Libra, and Capricorn. It's supposed to get. I mean, don't shit on signs in general. Like, you
Yeah.
have all of these signs in your chart. You might have at least one placement. If not your sun, moon, rising, then you might have your Venus in that chart. And this is why, like, my love towards like different sign grew after I got out of the whole like tropical astrology thing,
The
because
Western
sidereal
mindset, yeah.
kind of. Yeah, sidereal kind of embraces like, okay, these are these people's qualities and they're just wonderful qualities to have, etc., etc. But it just annoys me when I see like these memes about hating the signs or what these signs lack. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why must you do that? You're just generalizing people, and then people send you these memes. Whenever someone sends me a meme about astrology, I'm just like, I am very close to blocking you. Like, the next second.
I think at this point, like, I didn't think much of this because, again, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know how all of this works. So when I would see memes, I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine, funny. But then when Siddhi, like, brought my attention to this, I started actually reading what's written and, like, dissecting it and, like, using my brain to, like, see what's written. I was like, yeah, that could be any sign. Like, that's a personality trait. Like, what? I don't get it. Like, it's so rare.
Yeah, it's just confirmation bias at this point of time.
Yeah, it's like...
And like, even when you go read horoscopes, you can just like pick any sign and be like,
That
okay,
resonates.
today you will communicate with... Yeah, anything that resonates with you, you can be like, oh my god, I talked to my ex yesterday, how did the horoscope know it's real?
Yeah.
And then when you don't agree with something, because like horoscopes aren't even based on your sun sign, it's based on your rising sign.
Exactly.
They read the energy, and like it won't apply to everyone, because sometimes people have weak placements in their chart.
It's just so complicated. It's not as easy as, you know, just looking at. And a lot of people don't even know about like sun, moon, and they're just like, my zodiac sign is this. I'm like, what does that mean? A zodiac, like, and also I think in Western astrology, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, this is just an observation, but it looks like in Western astrology it's just more about the archetype of that of that sign. It's not really about personality of that person. It's like they take the sun sign and then they take the archetype associated to the sun sign, and they're like, yeah, this is me. And I'm like, but you can't just be one sign, no? How can you
Yeah.
reduce yourself to one sign? You're so many things. You're a complex human being. You don't.
You're 100% right. Also, like, your sign doesn't remain your sign for the rest of your
this
life.
is so important. Yeah.
Like, it literally evolves as you evolve as a person. Like, if you want to see like your progressions, I do this thing for my friends where I give them like solar return readings. So that will show your energy for that particular year. So if you're just like, I'm a Gemini, I'm so childish, blah blah blah, but your solar return reading might show that you're not even a Gemini. You've evolved towards like an Aquarius, which is like a humanitarian sign. It's like a more evolved sign because it's like at the end of the zodiac. It's an older sign. And most people don't realize most people don't realize that there's so much work that goes into making these charts and doing readings and just providing for remedies. Because if like the remedies go wrong, like that's like my biggest fear when I provide for remedies. I just hope that people, you know, use them instead of just doing it once and like that's it. Because they're supposed to work for you. And at the end of the day, it's just annoying to see like
definitely
generalized astrology being popular. And like now Snapchat has a chart because they're monetizing on this whole like nobody's using Snapchat anymore. But Snapchat has this feature where you can see your birth chart and everything.
Oh, really?
Just don't do that.
I uninstalled Snapchat like 3 years ago, so I don't really 4 years ago. Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on there. But that's annoying.
My sister recently told me. But anyway, like astrology just going mainstream has its downfalls. Even spirituality, tarot, anything that's going mainstream
I think
has its
with
downfalls.
astrology, the downfall is just that everybody starts reducing themselves to one set of traits, which I feel is dangerous in a way that they then don't invite growth. Like, you know, because if you consider yourself the Western idea of a Scorpio for the rest of your life, are you saying that you're always going to be like this hypersexual being that wears black all the time? No, of course at some point you'll grow out of that. Whatever, I'm not saying that's what
like,
Scorpios are. Like, that's the, you know, the whole idea of
that's the image. Like there's this mainstream idea of like certain signs being liars, some signs being like
cheaters,
beautiful, sometimes being cheaters, some signs being like sexual. It's just annoying. Like the whole archetype thing in the archetype problem in tropical astrology is just such an irritating thing. And I just hope like because all of these like meme account owners and like these astrologers, they've learned their astrology from Tumblr. And all they're doing when they're reading charts is providing confirmation bias. This is why I stopped like reading birth charts unless I have to identify a pattern. Now we've changed like the Tyoni menu.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to come to an end of this podcast actually. We forgot to shout out that. Like we were like talking about our sponsor and we forgot about our own additions. Please go ahead and tell them.
So we've now stopped doing
birth chart
readings, but I'm taking consultations for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour and 90 minutes. And we'll get on a call and we'll discuss your chart. We'll discuss like a future plan for you. And I am open to any and all readings. I do past life analysis. I do career readings. I do relationship synastry readings. So, and I do questions as well. Like if you have like one particular question about your family, health, whatever, I will do a reading for that. So we have come to the end of our podcast. And
This was a long.
can you just repeat the sponsorship thing? And once again, just to let them know.
Yeah, of
how-
course. So if it hasn't been ingrained in your brain yet, the Lunar Tarot is a really good girl to go to and get your tarot reading. And I keep calling it candle healing, man. Your spell jars from. She again offers tarot readings for whatever issues you may have for very, very reasonable prices, and she offers spell jars for anxiety relief, self-love, psychic protection, energy, aura healing, love jars for a very, very reasonable price. You can put in your specific intention based, around all of these things. And if you use free 10, which is go to her inbox and be like, hi, free 10, that will be your code word to get 10% off of your jar or your tarot reading. And she is insanely accurate. Both of us have had really positive experiences with her. So please go. And thank you so much, Lunar Tarot, for sponsoring this podcast and being our very, very first sponsor. You've not only helped us, but also we found a really good friend from all of this. So, and there are only 10 slots available. So go and say free 10 right now, quickly in her inbox before your slots fill up. And thank you for listening. This was kind of a long one.
Thank you for joining us.
But we had a lot to
Yeah.
get off of our chest. So thank you for joining us, yes. And we will see you soon.
And we'll see you next
Next week.
week.
Bye.
Bye.